Hey guys, welcome to Kracks this week. I am in here in the home studio, and Jon is on location, out and about in Vegas somewhere. We have some special guests this week. Coach Odom from UNLV. Guys, thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate having you guys on. Are you guys in Jackson? Where are you at right now, Jackson?
I'm at
First,
the
I'll ask you.
facility, the football
That's
facility.
what I thought. I seen the UNLV in the background. Okay, great, Coach. You're home.
I am home. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Good to see you
Good.
guys. And thanks for
Thanks for
having
coming
us
on.
on. Yeah.
Oh,
Thank
no,
you.
thanks for coming on. I've looked up your history. Of course, I know who you were before you even came here to our school, from Missouri and then Arkansas. And so you've been here one full season. Is that correct? Last season you came and kind of, I'm not looking to kiss no one's butt, but you turned the program around. Took them to a bowl, 9-5. Unbelievable. Exceeded everyone, all the forecasters' expectations, blew them away. So I was looking forward to having you on. I really appreciate it. And how have you adjusted? I'll ask you first before Jackson. How have you adjusted to the town? For me, I've been here 21 years, but I'm an East Coast guy. But I'm a square, man. I don't drink, smoke, and never did a drug in my life. I mean, you grow up in an old-fashioned Italian, Hungarian family. We eat. That's my only bad vice. How have you adjusted, though, to Las Vegas and the Las Vegas lifestyle, living, maybe the university, the whole area?
I mean, really, the only negative is I've gained about 20 pounds because I like to eat as well, and it's the food mecca of the world. We've loved it. When we first got the job, and we've my wife and I've been married 24 years. We've got 3 kids, and we've been Midwest, Mid South our entire life. And so to go west and go into, we've always lived in smaller college towns. So it was obviously a change for us in what was a 2.5 million people city. Now, after 18 months, seems substantially smaller. The people have been tremendous to us. The outpouring of support and help and welcoming has been great. So other than the 20 pounds I put on, it's been really good.
Yeah, it's so easy. This town, people don't realize how good a quality food we have here too. I mean, there's every night steakhouses, great restaurants. People come in town too. I don't know about you guys. People come in town and say, "Hey, Bill, I'm coming into town," and they think I'm going to be like a party guy. I'm kind of a shut-in nerd at my house here, or my studio. But yeah, it's a town that you go out every night, eating. It's really hard. And like you said, your wife's here with you. My wife is also, of course, here with me. I just hope she doesn't hear me. She just is not the greatest cook. Like my family, my family taught her how to cook the Italians. But yeah, you eat out every night. So you eat out. I'm sorry, you eat out here a lot, like I do too. It's so easy. So Jackson, ask you a question. You're the academic All-American first team. Are you also the captain of the team?
Yes, sir. One of them. We got a few.
One of them. You got a few captains. But how have you taken to the town? How have you adjusted? It's a tough town. This town's like full of vice, especially for a young man like yourself coming here. What's your age? How old are you?
21.
Huh. There you go. I was hoping you were 20. Okay, so you're 21. So yeah, it's a pretty tough town though. There's a lot of things. A lot of people are when they didn't want to bring the Raiders here, they were so scared of their personnel. Also, the opponents coming into town, the coaches and owners and stuff, they did vote it in. But how have you found it? How have you adjusted to living here in Las Vegas?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, just like I'm still in the facility today. I spend all day in this facility. It's a great facility here. I got great coaches, obviously, great teammates. So they've made it really easy. But Vegas, outside of football, is a great town. It's fun. It's been a lot of fun.
And looking forward to the season this year. I read what you've done in the past and your storied career. And I know you told me you don't want to get into your stuff so much. You want to talk about the team and coach, but you've had a good career too, where you were good in many different sports and basketball. And we're all glad you chose football. And so anyway, I wanted to know a little about you, a little about the coach. I'll go back to the coach now. So, Coach, let me ask you a question. Really, this is your expectations. Like I said, you exceeded them. Every article, I went deep reading into articles and stuff. every article, that had you guys, winning 5 games for the year. You guys won 9. Even this year, I've seen the articles, and I've looked into this particular league and stuff. The particular team went a little bit deep looking into their expectations this year. Again, they have you like 7 wins. Like, you have to think that your team is going not, a deeper and deeper, just like last year. Don't you agree? You guys went to a bowl. It's like the 3rd time you went to a bowl in 30 years. You brought the team back. I mean, do you use that as motivational factor is what I want to ask.
Yeah, I think you look at it a number of ways. Last year in the preseason poll, we were picked 9th. And luckily, they let us play the games to see how it played out. So, we've got a number of really high caliber players. The work and the system, our foundation is really, really strong. But what those guys have done, first of all, it was built on hope, vision, and belief. And then they took that and really galvanized together as a team. We won some early games last year close, so it validated some of the things that we were doing. And then how momentum starts, and then how when you develop real confidence because if you prepared the right way. And then last year, when we got all those things going in the right direction, we were a hard team to beat. We didn't finish the season like we wanted to, but we've learned our lessons. We're a more mature team right now than we were last year. The schedule is one that's set up very, very challenging week in and week out. But we understand that if we will just be our best and we'll continue to work and do the things that our players have done up to this point, that we'll get down to the end of December and we'll be right where we need to be. And it's really, you look at it, the process of how it works, it's a sprint with no finish line. And we've got players like Jackson Woodward that are leading us, as a head coach. That gives me great comfort because I know every single day on the things that they're doing, when I'm not around or when they're aligned with their vision and their mindset on we want to be champions. And we didn't get that done last year. So ultimately, that's where we want to end up at the end of this season.
Great. Jackson, I'll ask you one more question, and I'll send you over to my co-host here. Jackson, let me ask you, you came over here from Arkansas. Is that correct? That's when you were at Arkansas. When you came over here through the portal, did you have those expectations? You were that dedicated to coach and the team that you left the school. And of course, you're happy, of course, that you've done that. Since you've come over, though, did you have to think, wow, what a job we did last year, considering where you guys were supposed to be? Would you agree with that? Did you guys, and this year you're even looking forward, I'll ask you the same thing. These prognosticators are saying, they should win 7 games this year. You have to think to yourself, oh, God, we're so much better than that. Don't you? Do you agree, Jackson?
Yeah, I mean, I think last year we had the same expectations going into the year as we do this year, and that's to win a championship. Obviously, last year, like Coach was saying, didn't end up the way we wanted to, but we were able to learn a lot from that. So going into this season, we have really high, and our goal is a championship. And, the off season we went to work and got the right habits together, got the team together. We got a lot of really good leaders on this team. So we're going to be ready and hopefully go get that championship.
You're one of those leaders, brother. You are. Just from what Coach just said about you, you are definitely one of those leaders. Congratulations. Jon Orlando, I give you the mic here.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'll throw it over back to the coach. I'm curious, you mentioned you have some seniors that are leaving. Do you have a sense of pride, I guess? And also, is it hard not to get emotional when certain guys are going to be leaving you? And also, do you look at it as you're preparing them, some of them for the NFL, and also more importantly, you're preparing them for just life?
Yeah, there's a number of things, and I may have to have you repeat part of that question, but you look at, the game, and one of the reasons I got into coaching is all relationship driven. And you look at the opportunity to pour into young men. You got a chance really from the age of 17 to 18 to 23 to try to make a difference in their life and to try to do something impactful through the lessons that we go through together through the vehicle of the sport of football. And, it's rewarding when you see guys graduate. It's rewarding when you see them walk across the stage and get drafted. It's rewarding to go to their weddings someday. Those are things that make you this one. I want nothing. I'm pour into my team, and I want them to have such great success because of the work that they do, the things that they do that the public never sees. It's a relationship driven business for me, and that'll never change. And you look at, we've got a really big senior class this year, and when we took the job over as the team and coaching staff, one of the things I asked them to do and really to block out the noise, good, bad, or ugly, block out the noise around them. I don't want to be judged on anything that UNLV had done, good or bad, before we got the job. The only thing in my scope, to be fair about that, is from the time we got the job until today. Okay, judge us on what we do at that point. So for me to look at the buy-in from our team, specifically some of our seniors and our leaders, I've got a responsibility. I want every player in our program to have a couple of goals. And one of them, we're going to graduate from college. That's happening. That's a guaranteed. We're going to get that done. The other goal, I want everybody in the program to aspire to be the best and go to the NFL. And so I feel a very, very heavy burden and responsibility to put a program and a platform together for them to be successful in every area. And then I want them to take what our locker room belief is and take it out and make society better. And if we focus on those three things, you may come up short of going to the NFL because it's so hard to do, and some of those things are out of your control. But if you work to be the best and you come up short, then you did everything you can. So for me as a head coach, I try to put everything together from a plan and a foundation to give them a roadmap to be successful, and then help them drive along the way, so to speak. And when you do those things and your habits align to that, then you've got a chance to be your very, very best.
That's awesome. Jackson, question for you. How do you keep the intensity during the off season? How do you keep yourself accountable day to day in the off season?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you strive to be great, and winning is everything in your life, then you take each rep, each opportunity that you get in the weight room the same. And that's, like you said, with really high intensity. And you have a goal, and that goal is, like I said earlier, to win a championship. So you know that what you're doing in the off season is preparing you for that moment. And then whenever you prepare the right way, you have all the confidence in the world, and you can go achieve, what you're trying to accomplish.
That's awesome. My last question, Bill, for both of these guys. Here's my last question for both of you. I know you're both at UNLV right now, and it's also kind of new for you, Coach, as well. But is there any chance in the future, 4 or 5 years from now, both of you can go to my Dallas Cowboys and get the Cowboys turned around for me?
John, the Cowboy fan. Yeah. You guys have an NFL team? That's a good question, though. Do either one of you guys have an NFL team that you root for that you've always been a favorite of, or no?
Go ahead, Jackson.
Cowboys, just because, they're the closest we got.
So also, you look at so Jackson grew up in the state of Arkansas. Okay, I grew up in the state of Oklahoma. The closest NFL organization has been the Dallas Cowboys. So
wow.
I was a huge Tom Landry fan, Roger Staubach, and then it goes on and on and on. And now even closer to that, both of us were at the University of Arkansas, which one of our proud alums is the owner, Jerry Jones of the Cowboys. So I've always been a Cowboys fan. It sounds like Jackson has as well. So the Dallas Cowboys being America's team, I think it's either one way or the other. Everybody, you really love them or you absolutely hate them.
Absolutely right. No, that's true. We talk about them every week. I also host a Fox show on the weekend on Fox Sports Radio, and it's amazing either the love or hate for that team more than any other team. It seems like Jerry Jones. Either you love him or you hate him. So even many people in Dallas, that's unbelievable. I guess it's like being in New York with Steinbrenner. They hated Steinbrenner, a lot of people. Many people in Dallas do not like him. So he gets his hands involved too much with the team, they say. And I just read yesterday I just read that Dak Prescott's going to be the highest paid quarterback. I don't know. I guess they're renegotiating his contract at like $60 million a year. I just read that. So that's a giant salary for him, and he might be one of the highest paid players in the NFL. So, Coach, at Mountain West Media Day, you said we are on a stage. I love this, by the way. We got 5 Friday night games. Teaching that to your guys to maybe embrace that spotlight and maybe even that pressure, if it is pressure.
Well, I think you look at, and I've learned in coaching, I'm going into year 25 in coaching, and, every team is different. And I think because of the work that this group has put in, because of the maturity of the team that we are, I'm going to put it all out there to them. And we're not, I know they see it and they know it anyway. They feel it anyway. So why not embrace it, understand what's at stake, understand what we can do. There's a blank sheet of paper in front of us. We hold the pen. We write the story. So for whatever reason, what we've earned up to this point, 11 or 12 are on national TV. You want to be on the stage? The stage is set. So let's go make it happen. So it's exciting from a competitive standpoint. It's really exciting for our team to be able to showcase themselves week in and week out. And we know that every single week we've got to bring it because they're so important on those 12 opportunities that we get.
And Jackson, your mom told me yesterday, which is a great thing, that they come to all your games, home or road. They're at a lot of your games. I think they said they missed maybe 1 game last year or going to miss 1 this year. They have the whole thing scheduled out. Is that more pressure for you, knowing that mom and dad's up there and the family's up there in the stands watching you, or you just treat it like every other game since they were watching you forever and, coming to your games for the last, 15, 20 years, whatever, since you were, a little guy. So what is it? Is it that pressure, or you don't even think about it?
No, there's no pressure with it. I mean, I'm super blessed that they are able to make all the games. I got an incredible family, parents, brothers, sister that support me in all that I do. But no, it's, once I'm on the field, I'm locked in, focused on the game. And then I just get to see them after, which is awesome. But no, there's no pressure with it. That's
great. That's great. Well, you must be extremely proud that they're proud of you, and they're with you there. And we want to thank you guys. We appreciate you coming on and giving us some of your time. And we want to
wait one sec.
Okay,
Bill.
Go ahead.
What
do you got?
In front of our 2 guests, I want a verbally binding contract with me and you this year.
Okay,
we're going to a UNLV game this year.
You know why John's saying that? Because I get tickets to almost every single Raiders game, and I think we went to 1 in the last 2 years. I give the tickets away.
Come on, let's go see these guys.
I'd love to go to a UNLV home game. Yeah,
all
why
right.
not? Let's do it. It's on a Saturday or something, so that'll be great.
We're on. I know somebody that knows somebody that can get you in the door. So just let me know.
All right. Well, thanks.
Well said.
Thanks, Coach. We really appreciate that. And thank you guys very much for your time. We wish you a real healthy and successful season here, and appreciate you coming on to Wisecracks with Jon Orlando, Bill Krackenberger. Thanks, guys.
Thanks guys.
Thank you.
Hey, John, wasn't that great? Weren't they great? Coach Barry Odom and Jackson, just a nice kid, and it looks like he really has his head in the right place. It's tough in this town. I really didn't want to get into too much more, but it's tough. 21 years old. Drinking, drugs, women, gambling. This town has so many vices. I'm not saying Arkansas doesn't, but I can guarantee
it's different here. Yeah, I'm all blown away by today's young generation. The 20 through 25-year-olds are so much more mature than I think I was from 20 to 25. Just the way Jackson carries himself and conducts himself. It's really impressive. Did. Yeah.
So, John, what do you got in the background there? Where are you at?
I'm at the Durango Sportsbook.
I've been watching Durango. Yeah, great place.
Bill, the Red Sox are playing the Rockies right now. It is 19-2 in the 6th inning. The Rockies. Wow. The Rockies just hit a grand slam. In the bottom of the 6th, it's 19-2. I mean, it's just crazy.
It's funny. I love the book there. It's a shame they threw me off their app. I don't even know if I'm allowed to play at the counter, but
really,
they look for reasons to throw out winners off their app. It's a shame because I love the property. I love Red Rock.
Great.
I talk good and bad about a lot of different people, and not people, a lot of different companies. Listen, that sports book, that entire set, the casino, everything there. We always talk about the food court, the restaurants, great place. I just wish they took winners. They're unlike their signs that they advertise. We take winners. I just wish they booked winners. John, you hear about this Robert, our producer up in Canada, just told us the Canadian soccer scandal here. So I'm reading. I went right away and read the Olympics. Okay, Canadian soccer coach and analysts are out of the Olympics due to a drone usage. The women's soccer team assistant coach and analysts have been kicked out for disrupting the flow of a practice and a drone flyby. I don't know what that even means, I guess, just to try to see what's going on in the other team. So cheating at the Olympics, basically. But like I said on the break here to you guys, everyone loves Bill Belichick. Didn't he basically do that to the Jets? Didn't he? You remember that scandal they had? Wasn't he trying to watch what they were doing on the other team or taping what they were doing? So this is a shame, though. It puts a blunder on the Olympics and it puts a blunder on the Canadian team and maybe even the whole entire Canadian team, which that's not fair, really, because it was just an isolated incident, it looks like to me here. You could bet on the Olympics. It's kind of amazing. You can bet on the Olympics too. So you just
that's kind of shocking.
Yeah, you think about it. Oh, so John, let me tell you yesterday I was downtown. So I was downtown and, I had some great years at the Golden Nugget. I know I've talked about it before.
Yeah.
I lived basically 3 years in a room there. It's called the Chairman's Chamber up on the 18th floor. It's the room where Frank Sinatra and Steve Wynn made the commercial. And, Steve Wynn said, Mr. Sinatra, Steve Wynn, I own the place. And Frank said to him, fold it up 20, make sure I get some more towels. Same room, exactly the same. I haven't been in the building in years. I used the Rounders quote, like Bill Buckner walking into Shea, but there was nothing to be embarrassed about. Like maybe Bill thought he should have been. Great baseball player that recently passed, I think a couple of years ago. But walking in there, a couple of people that were still there, and this is like, I guess I was at the Nugget around 2004 to 2015, something like that, thanks. Great to be on with you guys. What a good person, man.
Yeah.
Coaches have egos, man. He's all about the team and the town, and good for him. But going back to the Nugget, though. So walking in the Nugget, I go in the front door, and I realized the doorman, which he knew me, he's been there 20-some years, held the door for me, and he's like, oh, my God, Crack, how you been? It's the only active casino I know in this town that has active doormen actually holding the doors open for you.
Oh, wow.
I don't know any other place that has doormen.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Holding the door. Bellagio did for a while, but I don't think they do anymore. But it's just such a classy little jewel downtown. And, I love the Golden Nugget. I love the people that work there, the connections I had there. So many years I was down there, and they let me basically live in the hotel. And I remember even when Tillman bought the place, it was only when he came in I had to get out of that room. But
my dad had a residency there for a year.
No, I didn't. Did he have a residency there?
Back in maybe
stage that Sinatra was on. Sinatra was on that stage.
2000, maybe 2001 or 99, 2000, somewhere around there. Yeah, he was there for like a year.
He was there like every weekend, or?
No, they lived there. They played 5 nights a week. Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was back when Joe Leone was the entertainment director.
Yeah,
you know Joe?
I knew Joe. He went over to the Wynn from there. I don't know where he is at now.
I don't know either.
But, yeah,
Bill,
Joe,
did you see this? There was a crazy story yesterday in Prim. Did you see it?
Was there a robbery?
Yes, almost, I think $650,000 or $700,000. But these two were able to go into the casino, like cashier area. Like, how is that even possible?
I don't know if it was yesterday. I read about it a couple of days ago, and every article I read, it was almost like the movie Ocean's 11, the last Ocean's 11 with George Clooney and Brad Pitt. And the article was saying like a small Asian man fit right in, or actually a woman. It was a woman. I'm going to Google it right now.
They posted a picture. They got arrested.
Oh, they got arrested. Yeah. Well,
they got arrested. I saw
breaking into a cage. But just like that Ocean's 11, the guy did like a backflip into the cage and like didn't want to go on. They had laser beam, detections. But I read that and I was like, wow, that's unbelievable, just like the movie. And I didn't know if they got caught, though. But supposedly,
they did get caught.
This had to be, from what I didn't read anything else. I just thought immediately inside job. Because how can you be by the way, the slowest of the three casinos there no patrons hardly ever. They're all in
Right.
Buffalo Bills. How can you have that kind of money on hand in the cage? You know what I mean? Something didn't make sense there, you know?
It's so funny that you say that. That's exactly, I saw the story on Vegas Pauly C's Instagram, and that's exactly what he said. He said, how is there all this money in the cage? Why would you have this kind of money in the cage?
Yeah, it's funny. They don't want to talk about, Las Vegas doesn't like to talk about things like this. It's actually hard to find. I Googled Prim Casino, thinking it would come right up. No, Prim Casino robbery. 2 people were arrested. You're right, $650,000. Wow. They from Prim Valley Resort, which is the slowest of the 3 resorts. How can they even have that kind of money in the casino? Wow.
Yeah.
A Vegas couple. Wow. This is right out of there was a show called Ray Donovan on Showtime. I don't think it's still on.
Sure.
But the last couple seasons, John Voight, I think it was. I mean, it was based around Prim the last year, like Prim, Nevada.
Yep. They
had some scenes. So I immediately thought of that. But yeah, so I was down at the Golden Nugget though, and I just thought about that. I was like, wow, this place here, this was like the old downtown area. And I'll tell you what, there's some good deals down there. I told people, maybe it was on a different show, I told them about the deal going on down at Four Queens Binions, where if you get 1,200 points on video poker or slot machines, or I was using video poker, you get $140 and you get $50 in food. But also you get about another $50 in each. So the deal is worth about $300, and you're playing. There's some games down there that are very good, close to. I'll say break even, because they're actually one's over 100, one's just under 100% for perfect play. But just to show people, we talk about. We're very, very truthful on the show. So the first month, because it resets the whole month of June, the whole month of July, the whole month of August. So genius that I am, the first month I go down there, I'm looking to get any advantage I can get to, and it's fun too. It's a release for me to get away. So I actually won about $1,100 last month playing, and I got all those bonuses in the food. And by the way, the restaurant downstairs there, even upstairs. I went to the coffee shop and I had prime rib and thought it was great. But the restaurant downstairs at the Four Queens, the famous restaurant, and of course now of course I forget the name of the restaurant. Let me just look. Here we go. Famous Four Queens restaurant. John, I don't know if you've ever been there. Have you been to Hugo's? Hugo's Wine Cellar?
No.
Oh God, it's so. It's downstairs, and it's a brick setting, and it's quiet, and it's off the casino floor. It's underneath the casino. It was a just beautiful restaurant. All the ladies get a rose and chocolates, and it's tableside salad preparation. What's it called? The sommelier. Is that the sommelier can make you try the wine? And it's such a classy restaurant and very reasonable prices compared to a lot of the restaurants on its level. You go to some of these other restaurants, it's $100 for a steak, a little bit less there at Hugo's Wine Cellar. Still one of my favorite restaurants in town. But anyway, going back to the deal, genius that I am, told you I made $1,100 the first time. Well, don't worry. I went there the other day with a friend of mine. We go together, and I'm telling him how good this promotion was. Oh, we got slaughtered. So after, we lost $2,000, but after our $600, I'm not going to count that though, because with the cash back, we lost about $1,800. But you don't have to win. If you don't hit 4 of a kinds, if you don't run good or just run halfway, you could lose. So overall, for the 2 trips, I'm probably about even on my end of the deal. But it's still a great deal. It's all through the month of July and all through the month of August. It resets August 1st. So that was another deal I wanted to talk about. Anything else going on in town, or anything else going on for you that we could talk about? Or trials. I talk about the trials and tribulations of living in a gambling town, even as an advantage player. And I'll go back to what I just said. It's not so easy, even as an advantage player. It's not easy living in a gambling town. And I don't just use this town. I'll use Colorado. I'll use Atlantic City. I'll use Florida. There's casinos everywhere in Florida now. Oh my God, they just want to break every living human. All the seniors that go down there and stuff. It can lead to bad things. Great. Granted, Florida's great. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying, gambling wise though, it's hard to be a local in any of these places, even being an advantage gambler. Not that I fall trapped, because my strongest thing is I can leave with money. It's very hard. That's the number one thing. If you ask me, the hardest thing to do while gambling is leaving with money when you're losing. So, in other words, you have more money at your disposal, and you're losing. You say, what's the famous thing? God, just
It's
let
not
me
my
get
day.
even. Just let me get even, though, and I'll get out of here. Just want to get even. Well, that's the reason. That leads to gambler's ruin. That leads to you to deeper and deeper in your pockets, and even with credit lines or anything like that. I know I have credit lines in town, so it's so easy. Money's up easily at my disposal. It's just a tough thing. It's the trials and tribulations of, like I said, of town.
You got to be disciplined.
Speaking of being disciplined, my last thing I'm going to talk about here is betting systems. John, everyone, including me, when I was a kid growing up back east, you all think you have systems that you can beat something with. And literally, the number one thing that I get questioned on is a system, or there's many systems. There's many, not just the martingale is the most famous system, doubling up after a win. But the problem with doubling up after a loss. The problem with doubling up after a loss is, one, the casinos. By the way, let me explain it first. I'm always thinking that I go into something people know what I'm talking about. So what a martingale system is, you go on, you have $5 and you put the $5 up. Good luck, a $5 table, by the way. You put the $5 up, and if you lose the hand, next hand you put 10. If you lose that, you put 20, 40, 80, just trying to win that one little $5 bet. But the problem is, I'll use the $5 system. So if you go to a $5 table, there's a maximum bet of $2,000 on the table or something. So the problem is the casino has all the money, much more money than you. I mean you at home and me and John. They have all the big bankrolls. Two, there's a max bet. So that means you can only bet so much. So a $5, give you an example. I've seen 10 in a row loss. You ever go buy a roulette table? You say, oh my God, 10 blacks in a row, 10 reds in a row. It happens. If you flip a coin, 1,000 times, okay, theoretically, you're supposed to have 500 heads, 500 tails. Along the way, there's going to be 10 heads in a row or 10 tails in a row. It just happens.
Sometimes more. Sometimes more.
Much more. It could be 20 in a row. It could be more. So same thing with any kind of gambling that we're talking about. So just to give you an example, a $5 table, $5, $10, 20. If you lose 10 in a row, that 11th hand is $5,000. Over 5,000. I think it's 5160 if I would get a calculator.
Yeah.
I think it's 51. The 11th hand would be 5160, which you can't even bet. Casinos aren't going to book $5 to 5,000.
Right.
It's not going to happen. So, and 10 in a row can happen. But there's more systems too. By the way, these systems have been in place for thousands of years. Gambling's been going on since the Roman ages before that. I mean, forever. So I just wanted to talk about systems, and people think, I just double up and get my money back. And I've tried that when I was a kid. John, you probably tried it yesterday.
Does not work.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill, I'll tell you what I'm going to try this weekend. This is the weekend on this Saturday is that $750,000 invite poker tournament over at Aria that I'm in.
How'd you get in that?
I don't know. Remember we talked about this a couple months ago. We talked about this
my God.
End of May. I got the invite. So
wow.
You win promo chips.
One time I got invited. Promo chips are the same. Even if they're play one time, it's still worth half the money minus house edge. But it's a giant tournament, and you may even you play poker. So you actually, a lot of people that get invited to this, they don't even play poker. So
I'm running in this one, Bill. I'm running deep. Final table. Okay.
Well,
I'm coming.
Yeah, but you might not get paid at the final table. You might have only the top 3 or 4 or 5.
I think it is top 5. I think, yeah.
I have been invited. I remember, man, it's embarrassing. Oh my God. I was in a $1 million tournament, invite only, with 50 people in Verona. This is a blackjack tournament, by the way.
Wow.
In Verona, and one at the Bellagio. I was in $1 million. I was only in $2 million tournaments. Boy, I'll tell you. The one in Verona sticks out, though. It was downstairs in a private room, and a junket rep got me in. And you have to establish a large credit line and post up money, but you were allowed in this tournament. And John, I'll never forget, I came within making the money of one hand of having a 19 and the dealer pulling a 4-card 20. I just remember because the minimum prize was $50,000. So I just remember that dealer pulling the 20 on my
Oh.
19. All she has to do is break or get 17 or 18, and I get at least 50,000. My expectation was actually more than that. That was just to get to the next round, which was the final table, and the minimum
Heartbreaking.
50,000. Because I'll never get invited into a tournament like that again. You know, being in Griffin. Well, it's not even called Griffin now. There's another advantage listed, not the blacklist. I think the blacklist is the same thing. The black book is the same thing as the advantage book is. The black book is you did something illegal, something wrong.
Yeah.
Al Capone was in there. Put it that way. Like guys like Tony Spilotro and stuff. This is a different book that I'm talking about. But anyway, well, good luck this weekend in that area tournament. I may have come over there and
Come over
and
come
stop
on
you. But yeah,
Come over.
And thanks for having us on, guys. Thanks for watching us and following us, guys and girls. We really appreciate it. We appreciate the coach and Jackson coming on. And next week I'm gonna have a really good show about some things going on in town that I just I'm not prepared to talk about now. I have to do a little more investigation into it. So
okay
I'm
I'm
all right,
excited.
guys. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.